Hi, my name is Eric Rondo. I'm actually originally from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and this is Christy, and my partner in life, and she's originally from California, and currently we travel in a motor coach and live all over the country, so we don't really have a solid home. We just travel and explore, and I guess my story is I've seemed to be a very healthy person all my life, and last year I had a situation where I just kept having a constant cough and couldn't seem to get rid of the problem, so I went to I keep forgetting, it's an in-and-out clinic or
urgent care.
Urgent care. Long story short of that is the result was there was nothing they could really see, but when they did the blood draw to do some tests, and I'm no expert in this, but my blood count came back pretty low at a 5.1, and they encouraged me to get to the emergency center as quickly as possible. I guess from a male standpoint, you're supposed to have an average of about 13 blood count, and I was a 5.1. So anyways, go through the process. They got to the emergency center, and immediately within, well, that was an experience in itself. I pray that no one has to go through like we did, through waiting to get into the emergency center, but the emergency room. But they ended up sending me off to the hospital, and was there for about a week and got some diagnosis, and they did a biopsy because I had some swelling that I guess I was pretty much in denial. I thought I had like a hernia situation, and it turned out that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so it was kind of a shock, and in all my life I've been doing things pretty naturally, and so I was really having a hard time dealing with it, and we were not having probably the greatest experience in the hospital either, but we just knew that through my years working in an industry of being natural, that there was other alternatives out there. And Christy, in the same way, started doing some research, and we were very fortunate. I believe that there are no accidents being down in Tucson, and we ended up finding the Oasis of Healing Clinic up here in Phoenix, and we set up an appointment and got to meet Dr. Goodyear and some of the staff, and got a tour of the location and that, and the environment right off the bat for me was just incredible. It's so much different than being laying in a hospital bed 24/7, and it's like you're being treated like family here, and you could tell that. The biggest blessing for me was just meeting the patients and that they have here, that we're going through the same types of situations. Everybody has a different challenge with their cancer, but everybody works together on a common goal to help one another and support each other, and that really meant a lot to me and Christy. And so after the interview and meeting with Dr. Goodyear and going through everything, and by all means, do yourself a favor. If you're looking at this for your loved ones or yourself, you owe it to yourself to at least come here and meet the doctor and the staff and really get that experience to understand what's here, because it's nothing unlike anything you've ever seen. And trust what they have to offer and what they're going to do to help you. And there's so many different, I'm just jumping on, going over and over of different things in my head of all the things that transpired. But unfortunately for me, in my situation, within a week of being here, after we decided that we were going to go through this incredible plan of attacking this, one thing I have to say too, I'll jump ahead a little bit. One of the nurses shared with me here that we're not gonna put you in remission. We don't believe in that. We're gonna kill this cancer, and I'll never forget that. It meant so much to me that they really take heart in wanting to help you. But in my situation, my cancer went into a different role of also attacking my kidneys. And Dr. Goodyear had to admit me to the hospital, and I had to go to a hospital for that situation. And that was probably the worst experience I could ever have. I'm happy that we got through the situation and we had to go to the hospital, but being there for 6 weeks and then doing rehab for 3, and having to go on dialysis and doing dialysis for 3 days a week, 4 hours a day. It was like living a nightmare. And like I said earlier, living in a motor coach and you have a dream that you're going to travel and see this incredible country, and all of a sudden everything just comes to a stop, in your life, and it's like, oh boy. And I had belief, though. I believed in Dr. Goodyear and the whole staff, everybody, and what they did, and listen what they have to say. And the sad part was at the hospital, pretty much the doctors were kind of like giving up on the situation, that I had no chance of even getting my kidneys back, or, that probably wasn't going to be a chance for me to even survive. I mean, my legs were, I called them elephant legs. I was so swollen up through my whole body and holding water and things. It was just terrible. But when I was able to be finally released after 6 weeks out of the hospital, I had another meeting with Dr. Goodyear, and Christy and I did, and I was so blessed because I was afraid they were going to take me back because what happened had transpired. And we got back, and they started us on a very good program. I mean, a program that was designed specifically for me, and that's the other thing that's so great. It's not a procedure that's done for the same, every patient has the same procedure. Everybody is treated individually. And we got my kidneys back. After a certain amount of weeks, I got off of dialysis, got the port removed. Even my kidney doctor that I had to work with when I was getting dialysis said that most patients after 3 months of being on the dialysis will never get off of dialysis. And because of all the different types of alternative, I don't know what you call it, integrated or alternative techniques and different types of systems that the Oasis of Healing has that they can offer you and offered us, I believe that the kidneys came back because of that. And so I have my life back there, and then this got my last PET scan, and going through the treatments and things with Dr. Goodyear, not losing my hair. No one here has lost their hair or anything. It was a really, really nice, comfortable experience, but I can say that I'm 100%, well, what should I say? No evidence of disease anymore. And I can tell you that I feel better than I have in probably many years. So I'm not a doctor. I don't know how long maybe this has been with me, but the point is that I was diagnosed in December of 2018, and 7 months later, I can say that there's no evidence of disease, and I feel fantastic. And I just want to reach out to everybody and tell people that there's hope, and you owe it, like I said, you owe it to yourself to really experience this and check this out for yourself. It's worth it. It's worth it. You can't put a price to your life and to your loved ones. I was able to see my son's wedding this year because of this. I'm living today, and we can travel again. And my son and his wife, my new daughter-in-law, they're planning having kids, and I know that, having grandchildren is going to be awesome. I'll be around for that. And, again, it's just the experience. You're looking in back of us here. This is part of the kitchen that we're taping this in, but it's not just, the experience is not just getting a treatment. The experience is teaching you better ways of living, and from eating food to breathing and drinking the best water and whatever. I mean, it's the whole body, mind, and spirit. It's not just take this drug or take this pill and you're done. So it's an amazing experience, and we just want to be able to give back and do whatever we can to help. And I'm just throwing it out there. If you need to talk to me or Christy, you know, and ask questions, I'm free to, you can get the number from the staff here, and we'll be more than glad to talk to you, because we want to help. And we know that it's helped us, and it's definitely can help you. So there's no guarantees in life, but you know what? This is the bet. If I was going to bet on something, which I'm not a gambler, I would be betting on this right here. So anyways, that's what I have to share. Do you have anything you want to share? I'm sorry I took it all away from you, didn't I?
No, you said it very well, but I would just like to add that in addition to the kidney failure, when Eric was in the hospital, he also had respiratory failure. And actually, I think there were 2 or 3 times where I thought I was going to lose him. But you know, it was really amazing that from like right away when we got in the hospital, it seemed like within the day or 2, the head nurse from Oasis of Healing was right there with us, supporting us right there in the hospital. And
well, even Dr. Goodyear called us up on the phone and talked to us on the phone there, and
yeah, we just had so much support, even when we weren't in the clinic.
Oh, and what about the, I mean, there's going to be stuff comes back, but this is how in denial I was when I first was diagnosed with all this. I came here to the clinic, said, okay, this sounds great. I'm going to come back after I go to these couple rock shows in Las Vegas, and then we can start doing these treatments and that. Actually, and I was in so much denial that Dr. Goodyear kind of looked like, okay, like that's really going to happen. But he actually called me over a weekend and just said, look, I can't allow you to go to this because I promise you, you won't be coming back. And that meant a lot to me too. I mean, this is not about money here. This is about helping and treating people and getting them well. And everybody comes from the heart. There's not one single person in this staff that doesn't want to give their all to you and help you. And then you get the support of all the other patients. You become one huge family. It's just unreal. It's you're not going to do this by yourself. It's just, you just can't. Not in this environment. So, anyways, I'm sorry. I just thought some things.
I just, you know, I know in the beginning when I started searching, you know, I right away after he was diagnosed, I was constantly reading on the internet. He was always like, what are you doing now? And I'm always reading. And it was like probably 3 or 4 in the morning, and I found Oasis of Healing on the internet, and I was looking for a juice bar that we could just rely on. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then I started seeing everything that they had to offer, and I was so excited. It was like he woke up because he'd been sleeping. He walked in, and when he saw me, and I must have been glowing and raising up, like, I don't know. He just said, wow, we got to go there. So we went, we set the appointment, and I told Eric, I said, look, it all sounds really great, but when we get there, and I want you to promise me, you're not going to make a decision right away. There's a lot of other places out there. We're going to go for lunch. We're going to do something. We're going to wait a day. But don't stand there and say, yes, let's walk away. So he said, okay. So that's what we did. But after we walked away, we went and had lunch. Immediately, we were right back here because we knew it was the place. We felt it. Just like Eric said, from the minute you walk in the door, all the staff, it's such an amazing feeling of love and caring and doing, you know, they want to do the right thing by you. And I knew that conventional cancer treatment, I felt anyway, had a double-edged sword. And I really was scared for him, and I didn't want to walk down that side of the sword. So I'm glad he came and looked at this place and made his decision to come here, and I think it was a good thing.
And the other great thing too is it's not just the, you know, once you get the results back and it shows that you're, you know, clear at this point, there's no evidence of disease. Dr. Goodyear said, you know, there's these 5-year and 10-year studies and things like that. He says, until you come to me 30 years from now and tell me that you're still, you know, no evidence of disease showing your body, then I'm sold. He says, but there's a maintenance plan and a system you must follow after. And that's where most hospitals, and I believe, miss it. People think that they've been told they've been put in a remission state or something like that, but believe me, you don't want to go back to you know, whatever and have it come back.
I talked to the oncologist in the hospital, and I asked her, I said, so what kind of treatment do you have to bring Eric's immune system back once he's been totally treated with all the stuff you're going to throw at him, the chemo and the radiation or whatever you do. What do you have to bring him back so he can live the rest of his life healthy? And she said nothing. They don't have a plan for that. They treat you and they toss you out the door and you're on your own. So
they have a plan here. From recipe books to the kitchen education to food cooking. I mean, it's just, again, it's just incredible. You'll love it. So.
And it's just amazing how you came back, you know, and how careful the clinic has been to make sure that they could save your kidneys, and just to keep tailoring and adjusting your treatments to get you through and to bring you to this point when you're healthy.
Anyways, we did it. We beat it, and we're just really blessed. And it was a whole family thing, and everybody coming together to help, and that's the key. And you got that here. So, but thanks for watching. Appreciate it.